Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Getting to Know the Fandom, where we are going to be interviewing ArdenWolfsky. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
A little bit about me. My name's ArdenWolfsky. I'm a red wolf husky wolfsky hybrid.
Mm,
I'm pretty new to the fandom. I haven't been in the fandom too long, only a couple years. April was my 2-year anniversary.
very nice.
Even though I am considered, yeah, even though I am considered a gray muzzle.
Oh,
I haven't been in
like,
the fandom. I know. Spoiler.
oh.
But I haven't been in the fandom too long. And I like in the last year got into content creation. But I
Mhm.
specialize in food, drink, things like that. I am not an artist in the way of traditional art. I cannot draw to save my life. So it's all food. It's all art food.
Yeah, I feel that I've drawn some pieces myself, but like nothing to be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be like drawing my own art and stuff like that. Like I'm doing,
Oh no.
um,
It's a stick figure at best. You're getting a wonky stick figure at absolute best.
like,
It's not getting anything like even. That's why I hate playing Pictionary because I'm like
Mhm.
here's a stick figure. I'm like trying to draw. Can you guess what this is?
here's what it is. It's all good. Yeah, I feel that.
It's all
Yeah, I'm
good.
terrible at Pictionary. Oh my god. But you said you haven't been in the fandom long. How long have you actually been in the fandom?
So April was 2 years officially.
All right.
I've always like for a long time in my life, I seen art from the fandom. I had seen things about the fandom. I was really interested, but never really took that little bit of a step further to
Mm.
dive in and like investigate and see what it's all about. But like, I was appreciating the art from a distance. I was really enjoying it. It falls with a lot of I like some anime and things like that. So it kind of fell in suit with those types of styles that I really liked when I saw the art, but never just dove in until I had actually family members dive in. Two of my
Oh
nephews
wow.
are both in the fandom, and they got in at like 10 and 12.
Oh wow.
So they got in like real early. And
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
okay, then. Yeah,
that's
they got
really
in a
early.
lot longer than me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah.
And they got in. They have partials. They like already had partials like 2 years in. So like the one by the time he was like 12 or 13, already had a partial. Was like
Oh
suiting.
wow. I gotta
And
step up my
they kind of
game.
broke
My
the
god.
ice.
I don't even got it yet.
But they kind of broke the ice. They broke the ice with the family because it was like, oh look, the kids are doing this thing with the fandom, and me and my sister ended up having talks about it, a
Yeah.
little bit about the fandom, which gave me opportunity to dive in a little bit more. But that still took some years later before I actually like dove all in.
You dove all the way in, got your stuff.
Well,
So
I dove. I
you dove off a wall, or was it more of like a
yeah,
runway?
I'm making up for a lost. Yeah, I'm making up for a lost time. So like 2 years ago. So remember that documentary, The Fandom, when it came
Yeah.
out? It was
Yes,
on
I do.
YouTube, and that's what gave me the kind of that final push. I watched that, and I was like
Hmm.
watching this documentary, and I'm like, oh no, that's me. uh, I am identifying with these people. I'm like, oh, I think that's me. Like, and
Oh.
then like 3 days later, I was like, I want a persona, and so I went about finding an artist,
Yeah.
commissioned that, and that was like in January, and then I got the boyo in April,
Okay.
and yeah, and then I went to the following May with like around the 1 year mark, right? I went to my first convention, which was
Hmm.
FWA,
Ooh.
and I went there not knowing anybody because like I was still like fresh. And I wasn't like really branching out and talking to
Yeah.
people in the fandom. I got into VR like April, May, like in August of that same year, and that's how I started meeting people. But I didn't know anybody going to the con, and I
Yeah.
went to that con and I got my first fursuit hug, and I was like, I need one of these. And so then
And you
3 weeks
were
later, I commissioned the fursuit.
and you were instantly hooked on that.
I was instantly hooked on the fluff. I had the hug, and I was like, "Oh no,
I
I
need
need
one.
this. I need this in my
See,
life."
yeah. Like
And
I,
3 weeks later,
God,
commissioned it.
yeah. See, I've had fursuit experiences and stuff like that, and every time that I get like the cash together to actually get one, something always comes up. So I haven't gotten to actually get one yet, but it's on my bucket list. So my next question for you is, what actually inspired your persona?
Oh, okay. So it's interesting. So the background, it kind of matches my family a little bit. So my mother's side has Irish. So a Wolfsky
Yeah.
is an actual dog, which is an Irish Husky hybrid.
Mhm.
So I wanted that Irish little bit of heritage in there, and then on the other side, I wanted a little bit of that Northern American heritage, having the red wolf. So that kind of inspired that part of it. A wolf was kind of always kind of a dear animal to me. It's something I've always liked. I always liked art of wolves. I've like always like enjoyed seeing wolves. So it just felt like a natural calling going to a wolf. But
Interesting.
then all the colors of the boy. I love autumn. It's like one of my favorite seasons
Hmm.
because like it's just the nicest weather. Especially up north where you have like the nice leaves changing and all
Yeah.
that. So I wanted autumn colors, and then so I did decide to do a take on autumn colors, and then all the colors on my persona are also named after some of my favorite foods or flavors to work with in a kitchen because I'm a pastry
Oh.
chef. So they're all some of my favorite things. So my red's based on raspberry. I have dark chocolate, coffee, caramel, and tapioca. Are the
Oh,
flavors of
interesting.
Arden.
That's nice. So if we get like all of those together, we can like make like a kind of like a tapioca pudding, right?
A
Of all of
beautiful,
your, and we can call it the
glorious
Arden.
flavor, yes. The
Yeah.
Arden. An Arden trifle.
That's nice. That's cool. So what was your first experience with the fandom actually? Like your very first that you can remember?
Oh. My first experience, like art wise, or like an actual person.
I would say like either or, like art or person.
Okay,
You know.
art wise, I mean, like it was on the internet. I was floating around the internet. I found a series of comics. I
Mhm.
started reading. Um, and I didn't realize at the time they were furry. I'm like, oh, these are just really
Aw.
cool. Then with a person though was like with actually IRL, like with my nephews, first actual
Yep.
experience with a furry. They got me hooked on this drug because they also had me when I was visiting them one time try on their partial, and I was like,
Oh.
oh, I like this.
So it unlocked something in
I like
you.
this. Yeah, it awoken something inside me. It did. And so I kind of put down the back burner though because I was like, okay, this is cool, but like we're ready to dive all into that.
Yeah.
And then really my first like I think like real interactions with like furries in general or the fandom in general was when actually dove into VR because
Ah.
an artist who I commissioned kept trying to get me in the VRC, and I was like,
Hmm.
I was already playing VR, but not VRC, and they're like, come on VRC, and I was like, okay, and I dove in the one time, and I actually met a bunch of people who I'm still very close friends with now. But they pulled me in, and I
Hmm.
got to actually interact with them as more of a the fandom as a whole, like seeing real
Yeah.
interactions between furry to furry, not just like like the family, because family, while introducing me to it, wasn't like the same
Yeah.
excitement.
Yeah, it's a lot different having like family actually like introduce you to something and then actually experiencing like other people within that fandom that you don't have like
Exactly.
that familiar bond with and everything. So like what
Yeah,
was
and plus,
that actually leads me into my next question.
okay.
What was your first experience on VRC? Which
So first experience on VRC, yeah, that it ties into it. It's like I had never been on, and so I didn't know, so I didn't know anything about VRC.
all right.
I dove into it because friend was like come in, come in. I'm like okay. I did the thing. They were like walking me through it, like getting an invite and everything. And I was like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. And so I saw an avatar, and I was like, okay, this is like a furry avatar. Like it's
Yeah.
not like the brush head kid, or one of the base models. And I did not realize that avatars in here initially had sizes.
Oh.
So I had picked up this like yeah, so I had picked up like this little like Tatum it was like a Tatum fox, and it was
Aw.
really tiny. It was like a cute little like a ragdoll kind of like size.
Oh
And I
my
just loved it.
gosh.
I just thought this was like this is standard model. You just click one, you go.
Yeah.
And so I joined this world. They're on this spaceship world, and everybody's in there like playing pool and stuff. And like I'm this tall. Like I'm like a foot tall. And
So you had to look up at everybody.
yeah, so I spawned in. I'm like, wait, why is everyone so much bigger than me? And like I had no idea what was going on. Everyone was like, oh, look how cute. They're like booping me and stuff. And like, but it was funny 'cause,
Aw.
like, true to like the fandom is like, no one even thought anything of it. They just like took on like that was me, and they're just like booping and interacting and stuff with me.
Aw.
And I was like, so I finally got to the friend. I was like, why is everyone so big? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're all huge. I don't get it. He's like, well, you're using a small avatar. And I was like, what? It was like a whole mind blow.
Like, oh, okay.
Like, I'm like, oh. I was like, oh, I have to get a different model. Then I don't like being this tiny. I didn't know that was a thing. But
It is
it was very
like,
wholesome. It was very wholesome. And like I said,
yeah.
like, quite a few of those people are still like very dear friends of mine. A couple of them will be coming up at the con soon.
It's
See them
amazing.
and meet them IRL, which is exciting. So meeting
Aw.
fluffs from in here IRL was exciting, like you.
I know. We did. We went to a con together. Well, I showed up at the same con as you. We went to FWA together. Well, not together, but like we showed up at the same thing.
We both attended the same con.
Yeah, we both attended the same con. Yeah.
That's the way to put that.
Which that was your first con, right? Was FWA back like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, this was my second time at the con.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first con. Like,
Right.
and so yeah, it was fun. Like then this year, I actually got I knew people, which was exciting,
Mhm.
and I got the suit, so it was very
Yeah.
fun. Very fun hanging out with you.
And it was so much fun. It was so nice. It was,
it was a lot of fun.
it was. Oh my god, I can't wait. I was hoping to go to AC, but like I sadly can't make that. But I'm shooting for like MFF, so not FWA. Well, I'll probably go next year as well.
MFF too. So
Yeah.
hopefully we shall reunite at MFF.
I know we will reunite and cause more mayhem and be disorderly to everybody that's there. And I'll run down the halls, reeing at everybody, including our lovely host that is like in the world or letting us use their world as well. So
This is true.
yeah, since I know they go to the con to MFF because it's like their birthday con and stuff like that. So
That's fair. I mean, it's one of the biggest ones. So I mean,
it is. Oh my god.
Like AC, FWA, or MFF. Like it's like those three are like
FWA was probably the biggest con that I actually went to. So, because last time I went to what is it, FC, which is in Cali, and then BLFC, which was in Reno, and those were nowhere near as big as like FWA. I've never seen like a con that big before, so it was very interesting going to it.
Growing,
I know, I hear
more this year than there was last year. So
yeah, I heard that.
All just getting huge. Like
They are. Oh my god.
1,000 last year, and it was like 11 this year. So yeah,
Dude, that's so crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So it also leads me into my next question though, as well. Like when you first got to FWA, what was it like for you there? Like at your very first con?
Oh, the first time. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
the first time was really intimidating because, like, like I didn't know anyone. I didn't know what the protocol was. I didn't know what to really expect because I'd seen some YouTube videos of cons. I'm like, and a lot of YouTube videos are like, they're crazy. Like these are the parties, and these are like I'm like, oh, I'm not ready for this. I don't have any of these outfits. I don't have any of the gear. I don't have I don't have a but I was like, I think I can attend without, obviously being in suit. And so I went and just kind of like nervously went into the lobby. And what I took away from that con, after just being there a very short window, it was like an incredible experience that felt like it's the first time I felt completely comfortable and like in my my environment. It was very interesting because it was like, I'm surrounded by people who are all having fun, being themselves, and no one is being judgy. No one's being. I mean, someone probably is somewhere, but
someone in the corner is like another husky.
Another blue dog. But no, like, it was weird because like like you look around and like all these people doing different things in different attire, in different gear, in like doing all kinds of stuff, and no one's really batting an eye out. It's like if you took these people out of that context and put them anywhere else, like society would have a meltdown.
Yeah.
Like that, there's people on like a leash or a collar, a harness, and they're in suits and they're dancing around and doing whatever. But you're doing like you're at the con and you're in that space and it's like wow, like everyone just gets to be themselves in the most like comfortable and positive way, and it just felt so cozy. I was like, and then
That's great.
I heard about like post-con depression. I was like, that
Yeah.
can't be your thing. And then I left the con. I was like, I don't want it to end. I don't want to go back to reality.
You experienced everything. Everyone.
I don't get to be a dog anymore. I have to like go back to being a person.
I have to go home and be a person and be an adult.
And I was like, it was such an interesting experience because like going there, not knowing anyone, being kind of intimidated and everything, and then showing up and then experiencing it. I was like, and suddenly feeling like absolutely at home in like just within that first hour, even though I didn't know anyone there. But then while there, made a bunch of friends, talked to a bunch of people, had an amazing time, and then I got to see those people again.
Amazing.
Yeah, and so it's like it's something I look so forward to like the cons because it's like oh, that's like that perfect little happy place.
Oh yeah, I feel the same. Like my first con was kind of the same, like that, where it was like just people walking around, like just in fursuit, in like stuff, and it's like, oh my god, like this is where I belong. Like this is so crazy, but it makes sense
you walk in, you have that
to you.
So
yeah.
You're like,
yeah, like here, let me put on my tail. I wanna start shaking it around and everything.
I was explaining that to someone. I was like, you understand? I was like, I bought like a partial when I was there the first year. I was like, here I am on the first day. I got ears and a tail on, and I'm like, if I was walking around anywhere else, people would be like, what is wrong with him? And I'm like, here I am, just like dancing around, wagging my tail, and then like I left the con, and like the next day, like I had to return to work, like after the con, and I was like sway. I caught myself swaying back and forth because that's what I was doing to wag my tail.
You had phantom tail.
I missed my tail.
Oh my god!
Phantom tail. I missed it. I missed it so much, and I came home from work. And
yeah.
I tail back on.
I when I first went to my con, I got the same thing. I was like, oh no, my tail's gone. Oh, okay.
It's sad.
I guess that's cool.
Like,
so
is that real?
yeah, right. So, does anyone in your family know that you're a furry? Besides like your nephews and your sister.
So yeah, my nephews. So funny. So yeah, my nephews know. They were ecstatic when I came out. And told them.
Oh my god.
Because I was like, so I told them I go after. I was like, so I have something to share with you guys. I shared my ref sheet, and they're like, oh, they got so excited. They like flipped out. And stuff, and they're actually going to be coming to AC.
Oh wow.
My siblings. My nephews and my sister are coming to AC for one day to hang out with us.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that part, yeah, it's all the fam there. But my sister knows, her husband knows. My mother recently called me out on it. At FWA. I keep it like a secret, but I just generally openly talk about it because like sometimes with your family, especially the older parts of the family, they don't always understand everything. So it's like just if they find out, they find out. But I'm not hiding it from them. But I'm also not like actively talking about it to them.
Yeah.
But so my mother follows my furry Facebook and my TikTok.
Oh wow.
And so because my sister followed it and started like reposting stuff, and she saw it and like, that's cool, and so she just by default followed it. And then she figured it out from another post that it was me. And then like on Mother's Day while I was at FWA, she's like, hey, so question, like how long have you been doing that Comic-Con stuff? And I'm like, we'll roll with that. Yeah, Comic-Con.
Yes, it's Comic-Con, mother.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, we'll roll with the cosplay Comic-Con card. That's fine. I don't have to explain everything there. So she knows. My grandmother knows, and my aunt knows. Actually, one of my bosses knows. They follow my TikTok, funny enough. Yeah. So in the last year, a bunch of people have figured it out.
They figured it out. They sniffed you out and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so family wise, a good chunk of them know. Last Christmas I was home and we actually did nephews and I did pictures with the Christmas tree in our fursuits.
Oh, that's
Took the
adorable.
pictures while the family was there. So very wholesome family Christmas card picture with my nephews. It's super awesome. So
Oh, that's adorable. That's so cute. Oh my god. Yeah,
family
yeah.
support. Like IRL
Yeah,
family
it's always
support.
good to have family support. A couple of members of my family know that I am as well. So, which
Nice.
leads me into more of more, not more personal, but more of like,
Ooh. Digging
has the
deep.
fandom changed you in any way from first joining it?
Oh, yes. Yes. I honestly I think like the fandom pulled something from me that like was kind of hidden away for a long time. This part of me
Mhm.
that I knew was kind of there, but was kind of like shy to talk about it because not gonna lie, I'm like I said earlier, I'm a bit of a gray muzzle, and so it was like when I was growing up, surprise and shock. I'm a gay dog. Go figure.
Oh.
But when I was younger, being gay, I know, right?
Oh my god, I
Um,
couldn't tell.
so
Not at all.
I know.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm supporting the community. It's Pride Month.
yeah. You.
But
Oh my god, that was
being
honestly going to
gay,
be one of my questions. Are
um,
you gay or straight?
I'm gay.
Like, oh my god.
I am gay. There you go. But so like being when I was a teenager and young adult, like being gay was really hard because this was still during
Yeah,
like before there was equality and marriage and a
yeah.
lot less rights than we have now. And
Oh yeah,
so like this
definitely.
was like kind of like at the turning point when people were still like getting kind of beat up in the streets just regularly for being gay or openly gay. And so
Yeah.
let alone throwing on top of that, you're like, oh, I'm also a dog. So you're like going to be a dog or something because that also back in the day had a really terrible and thank
Oh
goodness
yeah,
because of like the internet and all that stuff. Like there is way better information out there because it used to be more word of mouth, which is if you were connected with the fandom generally back then, there was automatically generally association that you were a zoophile or something of that nature.
yeah.
So right, so then you had to like defend two positions that you're also gay and not
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
and it was very troubling. And so like it was already like all right, I'm gonna pick one category and fight that battle because I really
yeah.
wanted to. So but joining the fandom kind of unburied like a lot of those little bits and allowed me to just fully embrace me and also just be more expressive. And I like I've learned like I mentioned I love suiting and making people happy while suiting and then making content. That's something I wasn't doing before.
Yeah.
It inspired me to do a lot of things and has inspired me to do other projects that are coming up in the future. Because the people I'm surrounded with are just so positive, full of energy, and also just amazing and so creative. There's so much creativity in this group, in this fandom.
It really
And seeing other
is.
people just, yeah, diving off, creating new things, taking on new ventures, and it's just like full steam ahead. I love it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's definitely changed me for the better to be more positive focused and more and more true to myself.
Yeah, that's good. I what is it? It's definitely like changed like something in me as well, being part of the fandom. It's allowed me to actually be more confident, which I'm actually doing a show now to interview people, which I would have never done back in the day. I would have never done this and sat down and actually talked with people about this kind of stuff. But uh, it
Right.
actually, so like for you, you do content creation, which I mean,
I do.
the
I
same,
do.
and you do mostly what is it, TikToks, the alcoholic drinks, right, based on f- character or people's characters in the fandom and everything. Do you inspire to do more content, like maybe YouTube and other stuff like that?
Oh yeah. So yeah, my main content is I do mixology based on people's personas.
Hmm.
Actually, funny enough, when I first started this, there's a video of it way back. I first started wanting to try to do this with YouTube, making
Hmm.
custom cakes because, like I said, I'm a pastry chef, so that's my
Oh.
main job. I actually have done mixology on the side for eons because I took it back in college. I took a
Hmm.
course on mixology back in college, and I've done it for catering and all kinds of stuff. And it's just a fun avenue. but I started doing persona-based cakes, and I was like, no one's gonna remake these because these are like these huge over-the-top cakes.
Yeah.
And so when I was actually funny enough, I was at FWA, I had the idea because I was like, oh yeah, like everyone's having a good time. They like to have drinks or people talking about drinks, and then I was like, what about making their personas into a cocktail, like their personality, using their color palette, and turning them into a custom cocktail.
Yeah.
And so then I came back and yeah, like 5 weeks later, filmed the first one.
Oh wow.
And did the first one on TikTok, and then
Do you remember what your
eventually
first one
did it
was?
everywhere else too. My first one was based on my own persona because I was like, let me not make anybody angry, so I'm gonna drop the first one, see how it goes.
Yeah.
So my first one's called a Frisky Wolfsky. It's a take on it's my custom take on a whiskey sour with a red wine float, which is also known as like a Manhattan sour. But it's my custom tweak on that one, done a little deeper and darker to match my colors, and I like a little extra tang and back and sour back to my cocktail. So that was like the first one, and then from there I started doing friends of mine, like who I'd met in VR. So I like the first like 10 or like earlier like set of videos is like all like my old core group of friends.
Yeah.
Just going through the chain.
Oh wow.
Versions of them, and I've branched out and done many others, and also just some fun ones for the holidays and stuff. But to get into more content, yes, I am looking at expanding into doing some of the baking ones because I do bake, and I have some fun ideas to do some persona-based baking, which will be really easy for people to do at home. Not crazy cakes.
And not crazy cakes where they're all like crazy and there's you gotta add like little thingies right here.
Yeah, I mean, to give you an example, so the first one I did was it was a 5-layer cake that was 11.5 pounds, and then had like edible candy glass on it. So you had to make the candy glass, the shards. So it was like it was gonna do this at home.
Alright.
It was way over the top. It was way over the top. It was a really tasty cake though.
Oh, I bet.
But,
I bet.
But yeah, it was way over the top. So this will be way simpler, more fun. And so that part. But then also I want to start doing some streaming and also some tutorials of teaching people some mixology and other aspects of food while in fursuit. So I will be doing some streaming coming up of like the R&D process, like how I get the flavor profiles and start making the concepts come to life. Because I have to sit there in the kitchen for several hours doing it anyways. I was like, why not stream this and like interact with people? Because I love interacting with like and talking about. Because I sometimes do video calls with friends while I'm doing it, and I was like, I could just stream this. I'm doing it basically anyways.
Yeah, I definitely know the audience for that.
And some VR stuff too.
There's definitely an audience for that though.
Coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I can't
wait.
That's gonna be great. I'm definitely gonna have to check out your mixology stuff. I do like to do that as well, and mix a little bit. So it would be nice to actually learn. Me, I just kind of like grab whatever. Honestly, like I grab what is it? We have right now. We have what is it? We have a Kraken, and then we have some mint liqueur, and then we also have. What is it? Like I forget what the other one is. But we have that. And I was mixing those a little bit. I was doing like half shot, and then maybe like a quarter of mint. And then we had frozen pops, alcoholic frozen pops, which they were like lemon, strawberry, all that, you know, where they come in. And I was just pouring 2 of those into it. And it actually came out really nice. Yeah. Like it wasn't bad. It wasn't, the mint didn't take over. It actually tasted really good. At least to me. Like I know it probably isn't going to be like
lemon and
everybody's thing.
Lemon and mint are going to go very well. I mean, acidics mix very well with mint.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, they do.
That's part of the fun of it, which is like, you know, like this is something like I do with R&D, which is like I know the properties, but when I'm trying to create something new, you just have to mix, you know, and like so I'll sit there with little baby doses. And I'm just like mixing and then tasting, and I'm like, oh no, that's not it. Like that's not it.
Has there ever been a drink that you've actually like just thrown out completely? Just like
Oh yeah, I have done a couple, like when I was doing like I had like an idea of like playing with like it was a licorice chocolate one,
Oh
and
wow.
because I was trying to get because so back to that funny comment about blue, right? You
Mhm.
know, because there's no blue dogs in the fandom.
There's
So
none whatsoever.
well, like a fun challenge is that
Looks at list of
when
people
you
I'm
have
gonna have
repeat
on.
colors. Right, but the fun challenge is when you have repeat colors, right? So like you
Yeah.
create cocktails based on people's personas, and like if there's 7 people who are blue in the queue, that becomes challenging because I also don't want to just turn to the same flavor profile. So I'll
Yeah.
use this every single time. So coming up with ways of blending flavors also to get different colors because I also try to stay away from food colorings as much as I possibly can unless I have to use them because like for
Yeah.
sparkle dog or something I use luster powders and stuff because it makes it sparkle.
Mhm.
But I try to mostly use the actual colors of the juice or the alcohol to obtain the fursuit colors.
Oh, that's
And
interesting.
so or the persona colors. And so yeah, like sometimes I'm blending things to try to get like grays, particularly because grays are really hard one to get.
Hmm.
Natural, like a nice natural gray, purples, and certain like blues. And so playing with those liqueurs, trying to get the blend rate sometimes is not very harmonious. And I was doing this black, gray, and white one, and the gray one the flavor profile. I was like, I took the first sip, I was like, oh, I'm like, no
Oh
thanks. I
no.
chucked it right this thing. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever tasted. I was like, what did I like? I looked at my notes. I was like, what did I just mix? I was like, we're never doing because it was like the liqueur. It was like a chocolate
Yeah.
liqueur. It was like some sambuca, and it was like a little bit of triple sec, and it was just so bad.
Oh
It was so
wow.
bad.
Oh no.
Most of
I'm
the time
a
they're bearable and I will drink them because I don't like wasting alcohol.
yeah.
So even if they're not
I'm
great,
a,
I'm still gonna like add some more juice to it and be like, all right, we're gonna knock this back.
oh yeah, we're just gonna
But
knock it back. We're gonna get rid of it as fast as we can.
we're not
so
wasting this either, you know.
so how long
Liqueurs
does it
don't taste
usually
good.
take you to actually like prepare like one of your videos and like the drink in general?
Oh, depends. So generally, I mean, on average, the research and development stage is 3 to 5 hours,
All
depending
right.
on how complex the drink is. If it's how many colors and things like that. But it's usually, you know, like 4 or 5 hours, like to get the flavor profiles. Like, and this is me going through 15, 20 iterations of a drink,
Hmm.
because I'll just mix, taste, like taste. And I do it very rapidly, and then get through the color building, and then into the next stage is then garnish and figuring out how I want to build a garnish and the colors and the flavors and things like that. But then and so once that R&D period is done, like that 3 to 5 hours, then
Hmm.
generally an hour or so of prep work because I have to prep everything and have it all laid out in the right tools. You may have noticed like some of my videos, I don't use like the bottles the liquor comes in, and these are all because I find
Yeah.
better tools that work for working with fursuit paws on because holding round things in paws is really hard. They're very
Oh.
slippery, and I don't
Oh
have
my
squishy
god.
paws. They're just full silky paws. So finding the right tools, so getting all that out and getting everything in the lighting and all that, that's like an hour and a half. And I actually spend about generally 35 to an hour filming and doing like
Mm.
mixes and then a take and then a mix and then a take, like, and then this like until I get it the way I like it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll just do several retakes because like sometimes it feels really good when you're doing it, and then you watch it back on the film, and you're like, "Oh, my paw's blocking the view." And
Oh
I've done that so
no.
many times because like those big bappers, like I'm like, oh, look at that! Like the flip was so great, and like I'm like, my paw is blocking the camera. I'm like,
Oh
oh,
no.
why big beans?
Well,
So they do. It's yeah. So setup is like an hour, and like filming is like another hour, and then carrying is
huh.
like another hour and a half. So
Oh
it's a good
wow.
process, and then editing, and then posting and all that, and I do all of that. So it's just
So
it's
you
a
have to
huge mess.
tear down your setup each time, right? You like put
Yeah,
it
because
up. You have
like
to
right
put it up and put
now,
it down.
yeah, because like right now I do it in my kitchen, and
Hmm.
well, disclosure is like I also do culinary and baking lessons, and so I have to do demos for my kitchen for those too. So I can't just have like a whole bar set up in my kitchen all the time. So yeah, I set up the background, I theme it, I theme the counter like a lot of times for holidays and stuff. And so I bring the lighting out, I set it all up, I pull everything out, get everything ready, and then yeah, tear it all down, put my kitchen back to normal for the rest of the week.
Oh wow.
So yeah, there's like a good 3 hour setup teardown cycle there for each video. Now in the future, because I'll probably be moving soon, I'm looking to build a spot in the house that will just have like a bar. Like I'm gonna build like an actual stationary bar for.
That's gonna make filming very easy.
Oh,
Then definitely.
so much easier.
So are you planning to have like a what is it, a bar, and then like all the alcohol is probably gonna be behind you and everything?
Yeah, I'd like to do. Yeah, I'd like to do like something like that. I've gotten some neon signs and stuff. A friend gifted me one from the con. The big paw one, the big neon paw one.
Oh, the one at FWA.
Hang that up in the
right?
Yeah, from
I saw that. Yeah, when we were in the dealer's den. Yeah.
Yeah, it showed up at my door. A friend of mine.
Oh wow. Oh my god.
What's wrong with you? Yeah, I was like, happy birthday. I'm like, what is wrong with you? But the goal would be, is to set up like a stationary workspace and then some shelves behind and some nice lighting, and then have the neon and have it all set up with like some of my favorite bottles behind me and things like that. But then just to have that workflow much easier than tearing it all out.
That's good. Yeah,
it's a fun process.
Having it set up definitely makes filming a lot easier. Granted, for the stuff I do, I just put on a headset, and it's like, oh, I just get the setup and I just go to a world and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Put the camera there, boop, there, done, easy. Do a little audio, do a little dance, and it's there. But having like an actual setup for like in oh god. It does take time to like find worlds and audios and everything. Yours is yours is a lot longer. For me, it's more of like, oh look, I'll scroll through TikTok for like 30 minutes and stuff like that, and be like, oh, I like this audio. I know exactly what to do with that, or like a song that I hear, and I'm like, oh, I can do something with that, and everything, and it's just a lot easier. I know mine is like really like having like a setup and everything. Yeah.
I spend like so much time going through audio, does this song like meet the vibe of this video? Does it meet the feel? I'll spend so long with songs. A lot of times, like when I'm driving and stuff, I just have like my electro swing, I have tons of electro swing playlists. I just listen and I'm like, ooh, I think this won't fit, and I make notes for like which one's gonna fit like a video. But yeah, I spend a lot of time trying to find audio.
I do the same.
I should.
Well, what is it? It's not only just like finding the audios; it's actually like thinking of the ideas of actually to go with them and everything. Because it's like, at some point, it's like, oh, like I hear this one audio, and it's like, this is a nice like song, and then like I'll think of like, like a sweeping shot and like a thing like this, and like, oh, I'll be like laying like in a bed somewhere, like on a bed of roses, and everything. And then when it gets to this, it's So
like painting the picture, like you gotta
gotta go through the motions.
I'm like, okay, how am I gonna come in with this? Am I gonna do like how many of these because I try to keep down to like 30 seconds, because like to keep them zippy, and it's like a lot of times I'm taking like 30-40 minutes of footage to 30 seconds, to find those right moments like that fit that that vibe of the music. So it's like I pre-stage it. Like I'm looking at my staging, going, okay, we're gonna start with this, and we're gonna go to the shaking, then we're gonna go into a slice, and then make the garnish or the rimming the glass or whatever it is. And it's like I write all those stages out so that like as I look over, I'm like, okay, that's the next thing to try to get it done. But sometimes like I'm in the middle of doing it, I'm like, what would be better, and then I just do that instead. I just go off script.
That's well. Sometimes going off script is like really good about that. Because sometimes you gotta wing it. You have to wing it sometimes, or else like it's not gonna look great, or it's not gonna work properly for what you want it to do.
Because you repeat stuff.
Yeah, because you're like, oh yeah, here's after like your 25th flip, I'm pretty sure it gets like, maybe I want to spice this up a little bit. Maybe not do a flip. Maybe like spin it around my arm or something, right?
So like speaking of script, so like a couple videos ago, I was trying something different that I don't normally do. I was going to try to do a flip where it comes towards me and catch it. I was going to flip it up and towards me. And normally you go left or right or something, or you go forward. And I was like, I'm going to flip it towards me and see if I can like land it like real close to the chest. And I was in full suit doing this, and because I was going to do a different take, I wanted to play with the camera angle, but I was going to try something new. And I flipped it towards me, forgetting, because like when I practice a lot,
that there's the muzzle.
My paws on, so with my paws on around the house, just practicing, doing the moves and stuff. And then, like, all fully dressed, I'm ready to do it. Like I would sit there for like 10 minutes practicing.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, we practiced it, and I was like, so I chucked it towards me. Yeah, and you forget there's a snoot. I forgot there's a snoot.
Yeah, there's a snoot there now.
Yeah, there's a snoot, and it flipped up, and it hit the snoot, and it bounced off my snoot, and then landed in a pile of glasses that I had.
Oh no!
And I just like, it was like so quick too. It was like flip, boing, and then it was like smash, and I was like, oh, oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no! And I look like I take the head off. I look over. I'm like, I was like, it just like smashed all these glasses I ordered just for this drink.
Oh no!
I was like, and this is why we should go do something crazy and new, especially when you're on a time crunch. Because I was like, the film because I was really busy.
Oh no!
We do this on a time crunch. So one glass, all but one broke. So that one made it to the video.
Oh, that's at least you had that glass. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What video was it?
A new flip. We're gonna do it was
what video was it?
Virality's video.
Oh.
Drink.
Oh wow.
So I ordered those square glasses to be very pixel-like to match the character.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they landed in the pile. Oh, the minutes.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I
was gonna ask you, have you ever had any accidents while filming, like that?
So many. I'm gonna
go down the line. Spill the tea. Like you spilled those glasses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like people have asked for bloopers reels because like when you have those big bappers on, like you're gonna make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
I'm shaking, and it was just like a standard shake. I'm just doing like a basic bartending shake,
and
I put too much pressure on the top, and that thing just like full bolted from my palm because it just I was like 1, 2, 3, and it just like a rocket out of my hand, and then I had made the mistake in that video. This was really early on. Behind the camera was all the bottles because I had them ready there for putting away. It was just a line of the bottles on the table, and it just like a bowling ball.
Oh no!
And all of a sudden you see it fly on my hand and you hear smash, 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 and then you see alcohol pour everywhere across the counter. And
oh no!
Body language in the video, I'm just like
oh no!
I was like, oh my god, there's like $100 in the liquor easily gone because it smashed like 3 bottles. And I'm like,
oh no!
I'm like, so I'd like stop, you stop everything, squeegee it all into the sink, and I'm like,
That's oh no! The horror.
Oh yeah, that shaker. Yeah, me and that shaker are. It may look good in videos, but there's a lot of hours of practice in the background that shaker and me are not friends.
You've had words with the shaker.
I mean, that shaker have had many words. Those shakers have flown off the counters, in the things. Like, oh my god.
Oh no. Oh god.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah. So, back on the topic of like the fandom, what are your actual thoughts on the fandom?
Ooh, thoughts on
yeah. Getting a little controversial here. Remember, be careful what you say. No, give us everything.
I mean,
Pause over Moz. Oh gosh. I mean, we could go that.
Sorry for the controversy.
Yeah, yeah.
I do have the paw sign now. I think I got officially inducted into it because I have the paw neon now. So
Yeah. Team pause.
It was
Oh.
chosen for me. But no, I think I think the fandom is in a right now. It's in a period of incredible growth. If you look at the history of the fandom, I know I'm new. I love digging into the history of things, and you can look at the fandom has been growing crazy fast.
It has. It is
cons, right?
really
From
yeah.
how fast it's growing.
With how many people are going and everything.
Yeah, but also just being more comfortable. Like I am, like I was, we're finding that stride, and people are getting more comfortable because, when the LGBT community was a little kind of in hiding, and now it's more well known. More, it's not that there's just more furries; it's just more people are comfortable accepting being
expressing and accepting and
expressing it. And so because we're finding we see more acceptance, we see more cons, we see more big cities doing stuff, and so we can be okay with this. And I think we're in this really incredible period of just growth because there's a lot going on. We all know there's drama at times.
Oh, there's drama every god.
Fandom. Right. But that's gonna happen with that's what every fandom, every neck of the woods you're in, right? You can look anywhere and there's gonna be drama. But that's also part of that growing pains. I think we're kind of in that fun kind of growing pain stage, which is the fandom's growing a lot. A lot of people are finding their spot. It's the fandom is also re-identifying itself with new groups and new subgroups and things like that. So it's part of that fun because there's so many new things happening all the time. So I'm really excited about it. I think my hot take on it is I'm really excited to see where it goes because there's so much new things happening within it, and with that are the growing pains of the drama and stuff here. And
there. There's going to be drama in a lot of places. Well, in any fandom, really.
There's people. There's going to be drama.
I mean,
but especially one that's growing rapidly because you
have definitely
new people, new ideas, new culture, new subgroups, and that's part of that. But it's also really exciting because we've already seen it grow so much in the last 2 years, and new things, and also VR is pushing it to new limits because VR for all the time.
Yeah, we get to be this. There are people that live in VR pretty much in their personas. So
yeah, and it's a great way. It's a great way to express yourself.
Yeah.
And also find and figure yourself out before you dive into a convention or get a fursuit. So because you get to really play with the idea of what it would look like, how comfortable you are with it, and reinvent yourself. And I'm excited to see where it's going to go because we are in that cool growing pain kind of stage, which is we're going to see a lot more people coming. A lot more growth and a lot more change, I think, in a lot of positive ways. And we'll have to deal with some baggage along the way. Yeah,
we'll have to deal with some baggage.
We can keep that positive energy and that welcoming energy that the fandom's had and continues to have. That'll be the key thing, which is, being inviting to everyone, being accepting and tolerant of differences, and also just being open to hearing and meeting new people. Because in here, we meet so many cool people from all kinds of walks of life and learn from them. If it's being open to learning from them is it's one of my favorite parts about the fandom. I'm very excited to see as it continues to grow over the next couple of years where we go.
Oh, I'm ready to see it as well. That it's so interesting to think about going back to when I got introduced, which I got introduced kind of the same time your nephews got introduced to it. But I never actually looked more into it, more expressive. I think around maybe my 20s is when I was oh, okay, I want to experience more. I want to go to cons. I want to find local groups in my area. And by that time, it was more than it was more out there, people were starting to have local groups and everything around that time. And my first one was actually at a Denny's meet and everything, where they just went to Denny's and they just kind of just sat around and talked, and and everything, and discussed not just discussed furries, but just talked about like their day and all this other kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is what like being a furry is kind of like. Okay, I'm just gonna be a fennec,
That's
man.
it's interesting. It's like I was explaining to somebody else, they're like, what do you do at furry meets? And I'm like, we just actually talk about like our lives. I was like, we're not like
Yeah,
it's not even much furry talk. It's just like there's just like that nice knowing of a common ground that we all are. And you
yeah,
do get introduced as like your persona, and you talk a little bit about that. But really, you get to know those people, and like you just get to know their daily lives and
yeah.
get close to them. But you also share this common passion and interest, and it's a really interesting thing because I always think like people always imagine it like we're all there and we always have to be like we're all being furries like and being furry behavior
We're
all the
all we're
time.
all sitting there
And
going ooh woo oh whoa
yeah,
nuzzles
like all of
wuzzles
that with
and cuddy wuddles.
barking and growling and
Yeah,
trying to
woof woof
get each
bark
other. Like
bark.
no, like actually like
And
yeah,
then you
like
just have
outside of
Phoenix in the
like
corner.
reeing across the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's really interesting. Like the group too, like you get people from all kinds of places, and you
Yeah.
get to have some really cool conversations because that's what brings us together is that common ground. But then we
Yeah.
get to expand together because of that.
Yeah. That oh god. I cannot wait to see what the furry fandom becomes in the future. Like even like with it expanding so much and more people coming in and being more, like you said, there's going to be growing fans. But what's going to come out of it is more people that are more confident, more accepting, more just tolerant of other people's like views and values and sexuality and everything like that. Like
Oh yeah,
and and it's
and
gonna
more creativity.
yeah, and more creativity, more artwork, more music. The music lately has been actually really good. I've been really enjoying some of the music lately from the furry artist. Foxboy on the internet.
Right?
I I I I
Yeah,
have that
absolutely.
on repeat. I have it on repeat. I have it on my Twitch playlist. Whenever I stream myself. So and when it comes on, I usually jam out
Oh
to it.
yeah. I mean, like, look at the creative, like just like that in the last 2 years too, like in the last couple of years, right? Virality,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, I was
seeing
just gonna
like
say.
the group, the community come together, going, oh wait, like we can't meet IRL, fine, we're gonna host a COD in virtual space where we can all be our
Yeah,
personas. Everybody gets to be their persona, which is such a different take, because we're not just like not everybody's working fursuit, but we all get to be our persona
yeah,
in VR. But like that, and then bringing those DJs and bringing the artists together and really seeing that community grow and thrive and like
yeah.
the creativity just with people in their avatars and like how much they put love into them and
Exactly.
customize them and there's just so much beautiful creativity and art in the fandom and it's like it's so I can't wait to see it grow more because like it also gives more options. We've seen this with
Yeah,
fursuit makers too, right? Which is like there
yeah.
was like five, and now there's like 200 of them, and so like
Oh
the more there
yeah.
is, we get more
There are people
diversity
doing them in
and
will like
options.
warehouses now, and then there's also people just doing them out of their garage, along with like all the
Mm-hmm.
artwork. Some people do them like digitally, others do them like hand drawn, and it's so crazy. And I can't wait to see like what happens next. Right, and also virality. You're right. Like
Absolutely.
everyone can now like be like their furry selves and come to a con and not have to worry because for a long time it was oh, if you don't have a fursuit you're not cool or you're not a furry and stuff like that, where there were people like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now with like virtual reality and stuff like that, you can actually be your persona and everything and come to a con and not have to worry about like in like the back of your mind is like, oh, no one's gonna talk to me, no one's gonna engage with me if I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
in a fursuit or if I don't have a tail on or I don't have ears on and stuff like that. Now it's like you go to a
Yeah, and
con
that's
and people are they want to talk to you, they want to interact with you and everything, they want to get to know you. You got to find those
right. And
people now through these
that's part of that
events.
expansion of the arts here too, right? Because like we have it through Twitter and TikTok and YouTube
Yeah.
and through Virality and VR, right? Like creators and people who are creative get to be expressive in so many ways other than just the art. Because
Yeah.
for a long time, yeah, you're right. Like the fandom was like it was art and suits, and if you weren't in one of those categories, you're kind of just a spectator.
Yeah, you were just a
But
spectator and kind of
really
just sitting there.
right. But now, because we have that diversity and it's growing in so many ways, right? We have creators who are just known for being in VR. We have creators who are
Hmm.
just known for something they do on a platform. They may not even own a fursuit.
Yeah.
They could have been well known before they even had a partial or like anything. Or this, with the art and stuff the way it is now, you can just express yourself in different ways, whether it's only
Yeah.
VR or it's little bits of partials and things. And plus, having more makers mean those like fursuits and stuff are just more accessible to everyone, which is great. And we want to continue to see that growth so that
Yeah.
everybody has the opportunity to express themselves the way they want to in the fandom.
Exactly. And that's perfect. And that's kind of like what this is getting to know the fandom and getting the take on that, of like having all of these options now out there, and you don't have to be afraid to just jump right in and get into it and have fun with it and just be a fuzzy ball of fluff, right? And you could just have fun.
Be a happy fluff.
Yeah, be a happy fluff, make friends, and go out there and just be yourself. It's so great. So, one last question, all right? We have time for one last question.
Right.
I know. Do you inspire to do anything for the fandom?
Actually, I do. Great question, actually. So I do. My goal, and what I'm trying to work on is, so like as much as I love the bartending content and everything else, that is a small piece of things I want to build. And my big thing is I want to give back to the fandom. The fandom has given me so much in the last 2 years. It makes me happy. Every time I log in, I even look at my Twitter. I'm in here. I see people. I'm being a fluff. It makes me immensely happy, and I want to give back to the fandom. So my big goal to get back to the fandom is I am working on a charity for the fandom to help support people who need it within the fandom. So I want to work on that. It's one of my key big initiatives because it means a lot to me that I want to help others. I want to help other fluffs because I want everyone to be happy and safe and loved and know that they are loved and important in the fandom. And so that help would be there when they need it.
Great. That's honestly really great. Something like that could have been like really good for like people back when like the fandom like was getting started and everything. That's actually really nice. Honestly, that's really good. Anyway, sadly, this is all the time that we actually have for the interview. So thank you, Arden, for joining us, and thank you so much for answering our questions and letting us get to know you and your takes on the fandom. Well, thank you so much, and thank you everybody for joining. Do you want to plug your socials real fast before we head off?
Simple. Sure. I mean, very easily. You can find me anywhere at @ArdenWolfsky. Whether it's at Twitter or TikTok, it's just @ArdenWolfsky everywhere. I am very consistent, but my main content is on TikTok at @ArdenWolfsky, or you can find my Linktree page on my Twitter top that links to everything that I'm currently doing.
Thank you. And I've been Dustmanic. I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you guys next time with another guest. Who will it be? Who knows? Maybe it'll be a surprise at the end of the video. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us on Getting to Know the Fandom. Goodbye! Huh. Seems you're at the end of the video. If only there were places you can go to see more content of mine.
How do I introduce myself?
Well, I mean, how do you introduce yourself normally?
I just say, hey, I'm Bones.
Just hey, I'm Bones.
Hi, I'm Bones. Hella popular. All the ladies love me. Very charismatic. They call me the Rizzler on Tuesdays. I'm just making this up as I go. I have no idea what I'm saying. Is that the kind of intro you want?
I mean, yeah. We could do that.
Yo,
You-
you're setting me up for failure.
I
Hold
mean,
on.